Hey, Hickok 45 here. I was able to get my hands on a rifle from the future, so I got a new plasma cartridge in. We're fully loaded. Let's take a couple of shots with it. Nice. I love it. Sweet. Yeah, it's hard to beat the future. Actually, it's an FS2000, and it's pretty cool. Let's take a few shots with it. Come here, let me show you what I've got. We are going to shoot a few shots. Watch this. I'm going to eject that round, and look what happens. I'll be darned, it came out the front. Is that cool or what? Some of you are familiar with that and how these work, and some are not. This is the, hey, little round, try to sneak away, that's fine. This is the FS2000. It's really not from the future, but it definitely looks like it ought to be, doesn't it? Bullpup designs are still, kind of futuristic looking to us, that is for certain. So FN. FN doesn't make any junk, as I have said before, and most of us know that, don't we? No matter how futuristic it looks, if FN makes it, it probably has some quality about it, right? They make a lot of our military firearms, and they just do good work. The SCAR 17 FN, you know, so you can't hate an FN no matter what it looks like. The F2000 was a select fire version of this, came out in early 2000, I think 2001 maybe. This is a semi-automatic version of that variant of the F2000, came out around 2006. Often people will call it the FN2000. It's really the FS2000, okay? And the select fire version is the F2000, and they're both made by who? FN, right, Belgium. All right, look at this thing real quick. How cool is this? Let's make sure it's clear. You lift up the hatch here and you see the action. See if there's anything in it. How's that? How's that? Bullpup. I don't know. Can't decide whether I hate them or love them, tell you the truth. Okay, let's, the takedown lever, one of them is right there. So you push that across. Before it gets too hot, I'll take it apart and show you. And look what happens. The gun comes apart. Amazing, huh? The barrel and assembly there. Sight. And inside here, we have the bolt, the operating rod. This just comes right out of there. How's that for cool? And what you've got left is something that looks like it ought to come out of Walmart. This, I'll go ahead and take this off. It's a little awkward sometimes, but this slips off. You pull up the bottom, and the trigger assembly comes out. And the hammer, look at that. The hammer's made of polymer. I think this was made by Mattel. This is not FN. This is Mattel. And look what you have left. There's something, we got to run this back over to Walmart and tell them that our gun broke and we want a replacement on our squirt gun or something. I mean, that is amazing, isn't it? It really is futuristic, or seemingly. Okay, let's put the hammer and trigger assembly back in. We might need it. This part is a little, let's see, you've got little grooves that line up and slides through those rails. So once you get that started, no problem. Got a big, thick buttstock on it, which spreads out the recoil. You know, not that there's a lot of recoil with a 223 5.56, but got a big old back end of it there. Okay, I won't take the bolt apart, but you see your bolt assembly and everything there. Pretty interesting. It doesn't get really dirty. I have fired maybe 2 or 3 magazines through it, and you know, you don't really see any crud and carbon there because it's a, you know, gas operated system. All right, and then this is pretty simple to put back in. There's a little groove that fits down in. At least I've not had any trouble. There we go. Slips back in there. Get this back on. And while I have that off, I'll show you the gas system. You know, it's much like the FN. It looks like, or the SCAR, but they're both FNs. You just flip that down, depending on what you're shooting, and you flip it all the way down to press that little detente there, and then you can pull that out, and then you take the gas piston out and clean it, which I've not done yet. I'm assuming it's okay. I haven't shot it that much. I like to keep those really clean. I take my FN SCAR out and clean it religiously after I shoot it, and then we slip this back on. And the operating rod goes up in there. Make sure the bolt is out there. Take down bolt. And it looks like I have it back together properly. Pretty interesting, huh? So the FS2000. Now, one thing I discovered early on was I had a hard time getting my chin down on it. It has a pop-up sight here. You know, it has your front, like backup iron sights essentially. And I could shoot it, but it's really tricky to get my face down on it. I noticed that a lot of these I've seen people have put aim points and that kind of thing, red dots, scopes on them, or even ACOGs. And since I had the ACOG, I took it off the SCAR. Had taken it off the SCAR 17 anyway. I decided I think I'm going to put it on the AR-15 Colt probably anyway. And I'm going to try it on this, and it's kind of cool. These bullpup designs, in a way, they really are well suited for a sight system like this. Just one sight to pick up. They really are, I think. And so I've taken a few shots with that. I got it sighted in to where it's pretty much on, I think. And I think I like the ACOG on this gun better than I do the SCAR 17. So we're going to try it with that. And I mean, for one thing, it's not like it makes it ugly, right? You don't have to worry about making your gun ugly by putting an ugly sight on it. Not that an ACOG is ugly. Is there any way you can make that gun ugly? Oh boy. All right, so let's take a couple of shots with it. Now it uses standard AR magazines. You know, that's cool. Now you have to use the NATO or the Groove magazines. You cannot use the Magpul mags. Now you might make one work, but I don't know if you can see up in there, but it has little gaskets up in there that seal the magazine. It fits right up in the grooves of the magazine. And the whole system is designed to be really sealed away from all the dirt and crud. You know, your little hatch here, the way that's made, even your little latch here, where the brass comes out and everything. It's a sealed system, pretty much, and that's why it's made that way. So whatever they think is best, it apparently works. We've not had any hang-ups with it. Again, I probably shot 2 or 3 magazines, full magazines through it. I guess 3 full mags at least, and it works. So let's put one in here and take a couple more shots with it. Notice your magazine eject is right there. Kind of interesting. It's designed to be fully ambidextrous in every way, because you know you can reach up here, change the mag with either hand. Your operating rod is on the left, your handle there, and it is a reciprocating rod. Believe me, my thumb is still numb from having it in the way one time. It's one of those things you just do once. But there's plenty to grip here. It's just a matter of knowing that means the rod, the handle is moving back and forth. So I got it caught up there. And changing the mag is not a problem. You just push up on that, pull it out. It doesn't fall out. You just push up and pull it out. Works great. All right. 223, 556 is fairly loud, so let's put some ears on here. Now I want you to notice, don't fall asleep, and I want you to notice where the brass is coming out as I shoot too here. It's pretty interesting to me. I think it won't start coming out until after 2 or 3 shots or 5 shots. Now at close range, I've got to be aware of the sight being so far above the barrel alignment. I'm going to shoot that pot. There we go. Hey, I got 2 birds with 1 stone. Oh, Lord, got that guy, haven't I? Let's just go across the hill here. See if we can hit the red plate. Wow. Pretty cool. Hey, this thing's a winner. Nice, nice. I love the way the brass pops out of there. I see a cinder block or 2 over there. Let me get my feet right here. Okay. Haha, made short work of that. There's a 2-liter over there. Now there's a challenge for me. Well, and there's a piece of red cinder block I'll take a shot at. Hey, this might be my gun. There's also a flower pot over there by that little piggy. Oh, nice, nice. Go back to the red plate. Well, that thing is a booger, I tell you. I like it. I like it. Ah, I see a propane tank that needs to be shot. Not much of a challenge. Oh, there's one of the negatives of it. I almost forgot to tell you. The bolt does not stay back when the magazine is empty. Okay? I guess if you're firing in battle, fully automatic, you know, you just finally it stops and you put another magazine in. Maybe it's not that big a deal, but that is one thing it does not do. It does not stay back when it's empty. That got it nice and warm, didn't it? Wow. I'll tell you what, I don't know whether it's the ACOG that I like so much, because generally speaking, at least on the SCAR 17, I had a little difficulty with the ACOG. Maybe I didn't have it aligned or sighted in perfectly, but I tell you, it's just made to go on this thing. I like that. I like that. You know, the proof's in the pudding. You know, the way you want to grab that. You notice what I was doing, that'd be kind of awkward. Okay, push the button and pull it. No, you can't do that with one hand. So you reach up and you just grab the mag basically, because your fingers, you know, have just push that as you're grabbing the magazine. Here, again, let me show you. If I were a lefty, and of course we're clear. But if I were a lefty, see, I'll just reach up, pull the magazine out. So no different for a righty. Okay. So it's pretty much ambidextrous except for the operating rod, the bolt. The sight's ambidextrous. Either eye will work. Pretty cool. And your safety is right here. You can grab it with from either side. See, it's on fire now. Push that over and it's on safe. So it's right there, the trigger guard. I kind of like that. It's right there handy, there by the trigger. And say you've got some kind of malfunction or a hang up, that's how you get to it. And you can see what's going on. Pretty interesting that it takes that case as it comes out that fast and puts it into that slot right up alongside there. To be able to do that reliably, wow. I'm glad I didn't have to design that. Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. The glasses, we're in a really hot, muggy day here. But that's fine. I'm glad that winter is over. Bullpups. You know, again, the verdict is out for me. I can't decide whether I hate these things or I kind of like them. If they work, fine. If they don't work reliably, and I mean right there at 99.9% reliably, I definitely don't have any use for them. Had an opportunity to experiment with Kel-Tec RFB and had some trouble with it. And so that turned me off. Now I know some people it works for and other people it doesn't. This gun is in a totally different category. You know, anything FN makes, because they make so many firearms for militaries around the world, and what they make works, or you don't see it out there. You know, and not to say you can't have trouble, because anything that's man-made, it's not going to be perfect, but this thing seems to work. It really does. It is so ugly, but it's very functional. It really is. You know, there's a good place to grab it there. That's an ugly piece. It's kind of thick looking, you know, but it just feels pretty good. The barrel is 17.5 inches long, almost 17.5. So it's not like you have a little 10-inch barrel in it. So this is not an SBR, short-barreled rifle, you know, legally speaking. This is standard length, you know, longer than a lot of you know, M4 type ARs, 17.5-inch barrel, because it comes all the way back up into the system here, and you've got your action right up here under your face. And of course, that's one reason they developed this ejection system, because it's hard to have a truly ambidextrous you know, rifle if when someone puts it on their left hand or left arm and they're shooting like this and it's ejecting out right here. You know, you know, the shells are flying into your face from right here. Sure, some of them, like the Steyr AUG, you can switch it over, but this gives you the capability of switching it anytime. You know, in the middle of the battle or whatever's going on, you could literally just switch and shoot from this side, you know, back and forth, back and forth. Your brass is coming out up from the front, so just not an issue, not at all. So I'll take a few more shots. I've depleted most of my targets. I didn't expect to be able to hit so well. I didn't expect to be such an expert shot with this thing. Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, I mean, I should be. It's a rifle. I've got an ACOG on it. It's just that I don't shoot a lot of things like this, and sometimes I can struggle. You know. We'll take a couple more shots. Actually, I was getting kind of fogged up there when I was shooting at that plate, but I was hitting it well enough, and I kept shooting at it. The safety off. All right. I'm actually losing it in the dust and the fog. Let's try the other shoulder. See if I can hit anything. Try the other eye and shoulder and trigger finger and everything. Right. Didn't mean to shoot. Cool. Let's shoot this watermelon left-handed. What was I doing? Hitting it low or something. Okay. Let's try this 2-liter. Ow. I'll tell you one thing I've not mentioned yet is, now you don't get a lot of recoil with a 223 5.56 to begin with, but this thing is really a soft shooter. Let me put a couple in the dirt here, or in that barrel. I hate to put a hole in the burn barrel. It might ruin it. You think? But I won't use that worn out phrase that I and everybody else always use. Feels like shooting a 22. Of course it is a 22, but it really does. It just, there's no recoil at all. It doesn't move. And I'm not sure what all that's about, but it absorbs every little bit of it. I don't know if you can tell that when I was shooting, but it's a really sweet shooter. In fact, the more I shoot it, the more I like it. And here's what's cool again. I'm going to eject that round. Watch where it comes out. How cool is that? I was trying it out here earlier today. I took 8 or 10 shots here right over the shooting table. And it was interesting because every piece of brass was just lying right here in a little pile, more or less, you know, on the shooting table, which if you've shot much 5.56, you know, that's not typical, is it? It's out there in the grass somewhere. But this thing is pretty neat. I'll have to say I like it. They run, I think, around $2,500. So again, it's not one of these guns you can pick up, you know, just on a whim or at Walmart. But you know, it's an FN. And again, it's based on a military rifle. You know, it's like an AR, you know, a serious AR, that the semi-automatic version of something that may be adopted by the military, because this is used, and it's used around the world by different agencies. There's not a lot of, I think, mainline militaries using it, but as I was looking through some of the information, whether it's in Chile or Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Poland, there are a lot of places where there are certain agencies within those countries, special forces or security forces, actually have adopted this thing, you know, in the fully automatic version, the select fire version, the F2000. Maybe some of these, I don't know, but mainly the select fire version, the F2000. Pretty cool, and I appreciate we lent this gun by the Nashville Gun Shop here in Nashville, and appreciate that. It's a chance to just run it through its paces and try it out. And we have not had a bobble. We have not had anything go wrong with it at all. I've taken it apart, field stripped it 3, 4, 5 times. It just seems to be built intelligently, and it seems to be reliable. And I really like my ACOG a lot better. I really do. I found a new appreciation for that thing. Feels pretty good. Anyway, the FS2000, no home is complete without one. Life is good.